Hello, second graders. Welcome to your writing lesson for today. I am Miss Taylor. Let's get started. Alrighty, so let's see if we are ready for writing. Do we have a pencil? Check. Do we have our writing packet? Got mine. Looks like this. Do we have a nice flat writing surface, someplace flat that we can do our best work? A nice comfortable chair. Then we are all ready to get started. So as we do our writing for today, we're going to pay attention to our lines, making sure that we are looking at the margin line. We want to make sure we're comfortably close to that margin line. The baseline, we want to make sure our letters are sitting nicely right on that baseline, so not kind of floating around on the baseline. And then we want to pay attention to that dotted line in the middle. So a lot of, especially our lowercase letters, start on that dotted line in the middle. We're going to pay attention to our spacing. We want our letters to be comfortably close to each other, not too close, not too far apart. And also we want to make sure to leave a finger space between each word. And lastly, we're going to protect our paper from elephants. Did you hear that? No. Okay. So we're going to keep one hand on the paper as we do our neat handwriting. All right, our goal is to carefully form letters. We're going to write neatly and carefully. All right, so let's get started. We are looking at the bottom of page 7 today. So here is our packet, page 7, and we're going to look at the bottom of page 7. So it says to please copy these lines from a silly short story in your very best handwriting. Ooh, your very best handwriting. Take your time and demonstrate temperance. So sometimes before I'm about to do something that's kind of hard, that requires a lot of temperance or fortitude and patience, I like to take a couple deep breaths. Or if my hands are feeling kind of fidgety, I might squeeze something or do one of our little arm twists that we can sometimes do. If you take your arms, actually, if you cross them, you twist them like this, and then you go like this. Oh, and you kind of squeeze them together. Sometimes that helps if we're feeling kind of wiggly. And then you can uncross them, and then you can do it the other way, cross them this way. And then, ooh, that feels kind of good. Just to do that kind of tense up your muscles and then let them go and release them. That feels kind of good. Another thing that we do, I take a yoga class, and sometimes in yoga we make what we call eagle arms. So that's another way that you can do it. We kind of take our arms like this, kind of out to the side, and we cross one on top of the other. And then we see if we can grab our hands together like this. So it's kind of a similar sort of a stretch and kind of a tensing up your muscles and then releasing them. And in my class, we call those eagle arms. And then we can do it the other way. We kind of cross over. Ooh, it sort of feels really good in your shoulders. Kind of stretches out your shoulders and your upper back. So a couple different things you can do. You can cross over and do this one. Ooh, that feels good. You could cross over the other way and do it this way. Kind of squeeze, or you could try doing eagle arms, and that feels good. It's a really nice stretch. Or you could do it the other way. All right, so now that we're all stretched and ready to go, okay, let's get to it. Okay, so we have messy moose made many men mostly moist. Lots of M words there. Wait a second. Messy moose made many men mostly moist. Moist means like damp or wet. What were the moose doing? Were they like licking people? Like dogs? Strange. Yes, these crazy creatures kept us amused all day. So there were some silly moose, some silly messy moose that made many men mostly moist. So I'm getting a picture in my mind of some moose that were acting kind of like dogs and maybe licking people. Yes, these crazy creatures, in other words, these silly animals, kept us amused all day. And if people were being amused, that means they were having fun. Sounds kind of fun. Moose are really interesting creatures. Have you ever seen a moose? I think I've seen one when we were like on a road trip, and my family likes to go camping a lot, but we haven't seen many moose. That would be really neat though if we did. And it would be really crazy if the moose started licking us. Anyway, all right, so let's get started. So here we have right underneath the word messy, comfortably close to our margin line, and just below the top line, I'm going to pull a straight line down. And if you're wondering, well, how do we tell it's straight, Miss Taylor? It's going to be straight like the margin line. And then we're going to go down to the dotted line and up again and down. So really paying attention to these lines, whether it's the top line or that dotted middle line. Try to make my S's nice and curvy. And my Y looks like a U that goes down below and curves up. And I'm going to leave a nice finger space between each word. Whoops. Down a little bit below the baseline there. Whoopsie. Try my best to be really nice and neat. And another finger space after the word moose. Mate. All right. And another finger space. Lots of M words today. Messy, moose, made. Many. I'm going to go down to the next line, comfortably close again to the margin line. Men. Oops. Mostly moist. Alrighty. So using a lot of temperance there, trying to keep one hand on my paper to keep the elephants away, trying to make sure my words are resting on that baseline. Oops, this one went a little bit below the baseline. But again, trying to just be aware of those lines, the baseline and that middle line and the margin line. Alrighty, so here's my capital letter, the beginning of my sentence, and then there's my period, so I know it is a sentence. It's got a capital letter and a period. Messy moose made many men mostly moist. All right, your job is to finish the second sentence, remembering a capital letter and an end mark, and writing nicely and neatly, paying attention to these lines, trying to keep a finger space between each word. So a lot of things to keep in mind as we do our best handwriting. But let's remember to do a little bit at a time. If you are wondering, how do I get all my points for my beautiful handwriting? 5 points if all your letters are nice and neat. 4 points if most of your letters are nice and neat. 3 points if some of your letters are nice and neat. But I bet if we really use a lot of temperance and fortitude, we'll be able to get all 5 points. All right. And I know sometimes when I'm doing my handwriting, I think about our poem, about persevere, if we do a little bit at a time. And pretty soon we'll have the whole thing done and we'll be proud of ourselves because we feel proud of ourselves when we do really neat, careful work. So persevere by unknown. The fisher who draws in his net too soon won't have any fish to sell. The child who shuts up the book too soon won't learn any lessons well. If you would have your learning stay, be patient. Don't learn too fast. The man who travels a mile each day may go round the world at last. So if we do just a little bit of hard work at a time, just one step at a time, pretty soon we'll have completed the task, we'll have reached our goal, and we can feel very proud of ourselves. So I hope you are feeling proud of yourself for this really good habit of neat, careful handwriting that you are forming. It is a really good habit that will serve you well in life, not just for school, but for life, right? Just like our school motto. Have a wonderful day, second graders, and I will see you again soon. Bye.